Separating the truth from the lies, coming at you from underneath the Noonan, Georgia, cloudy, chemtrailed sky. You're about to receive a dose of the shock treatment. Folks, let's explore this topic together. Human composting. It seems like Washington is the first state to allow human composting. Now, I've come across some channels. I think Free Thought Left was left. I don't know if they mean whatever free thought they have left, or do they mean the left's free thought, because I don't know what the channel means by that title of the channel, but there's no free thought on that side of the fence. There's sheeple. But that aside, he was saying, it's kind of normal. It's just decomposing. That's what we're supposed to do. Let's rethink this whole embalming thing, and that it's more of a normal process. That it's a normal process. So let's take a look at this article. Ashes to ashes, guts to dirt. It's ashes to ashes, dust to dust, or guts to dirt. Governor Jay Inslee signed legislation Tuesday making Washington the first state to approve composting as an alternative to burying or cremating human remains. Another channel was saying, these cemeteries all over the world are just getting too crowded, and in cremation, because people turn into cremation, that's becoming more costly. And composting actually, as opposed to cremation, actually gives back to the earth. That's their argument for pro-composting. So let's take a look at this. I'm not buying that, because even if cemeteries are getting full, most of our land on this earth is uninhabited. I mean, 95% of the land, I believe, in America is rural. You're going to tell me you can't open up another cemetery? Funny we can have enough room for another fast food restaurant. Funny we could have enough room for another pharmacy. We could have enough room for another liquor store. We could have enough room for anything else that's not good for us, another vape shop, or another C word that rhymes with answer center. You know what I'm trying to say, right? Another big pharma, facility, But you don't have enough room for another cemetery? Get out of town with that mess. That's a stupid argument. It allows licensed facilities to offer natural organic reduction, which turns a body mixed with substances such as wood chips and straw into about 2 barrels worth of soil in a span of several weeks. Loved ones are allowed to keep the soil to spread, just as they might spread the ashes of someone who has been cremated, or even used to plant vegetables or a tree. It gives meaning and use to what happens to our bodies after death, said Nora Menken, executive director of the Seattle-based People's Memorial Association, which helps people to plan for funerals. Well, aren't they already planning for funerals called Planned Parenthood? Washington State. Isn't that a libtard state? Somebody check that for me. But last time I checked, I believe it was the whole West Coast, as a matter of fact. Supporters say the method is an environmentally friendly alternative to cremation, which releases carbon dioxide and particulates in the air. Oh, so now we're worried about, particulates in the air, Well, let's roll that beautiful bean footage back, People's Memorial Association, Association. How come you're not worried about the chemtrails being sprayed in the sky, the particulates, The nanoparticles that are helping kill off people to be buried or cremated, or even now, composted. They're pumped full of formaldehyde. Well, what is our, what's in your vaccine, since you're worried about formaldehyde? And some of these fast food buns, word has it, might have some formaldehyde, and that's why they don't decompose. Why are you worried about whether or not we choose or not choose to decompose? And other chemicals. So here we are, back to worried about chemicals polluting groundwater. Such hypocrites, when our own tap water is polluted, and all the pesticides being sprayed all over the crops, and even people getting, the top turfs or whatever, chemicals sprayed all over. That's going into groundwater. So why don't we just start a movement and ban all chemicals? Why don't we start with banning chemtrails while we're at it, First and foremost, let's get on the same page. We're worried about chemicals. We're worried about chemicals from bodies now. So now they want us to decompose and spread us all over the planet, right? Everywhere. So now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I know it's ashes to ashes, dust to dust. But when you die and you're buried in the ground, you're buried in that particular spot. You're buried in a spot probably with a marker on there. And people are not going to cultivate that land. It'll still be a cemetery. You're just decomposing that area. But if you got yahoos spreading this stuff all around, you're going to be eating this in your tomato? Is that right? The GMOs isn't enough? The pesticides and the herbicides is enough, is it, What a joke, man. What a joke. serious weight on the earth and the environment of as your final farewell. First of all, if you're embalmed, you're in a coffin, and if you're not decomposing, then how does that formaldehyde that's supposedly in you, do any harm to the environment? Inquiring minds want to know. He said this legislation was inspired by Katrina Spade. Yes, and I just saw that on a TED Talk. Who was an architecture graduate student at the University of Massachusetts Amherst when she began researching the funeral industry. And she came up with this idea. She tweaked the process and found that wood chips, alfalfa, and straw create a mixture of nitrogen and carbon that accelerates natural decomposition when the body is placed in a temperature, moisture-controlled vessel and rotated. Unbelievable. So they're pro spreading it around. So I know there are people that spread the cremation dust into the sea and stuff like that, and I never was a big proponent of that. I mean, I guess I understood the concept of, letting them be free or something like that, but there's something about this composting and spreading it around like as a fertilizer, something about it just seems cannibalistic. I mean, it isn't enough, this Luciferian system that we have aborted baby cells for flavoring in certain foods and soft drinks. That's not enough with the chemtrails. It's not enough with the 5G. It's not enough with the vaccines that the Indy 500's trying to give out, or was giving out free measles vaccines. Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? It's absolute insanity out there. It's a Luciferian world. It's a fallen world. But we must be the light in this world. What do you think? Do you think we should be spread all around? Did I miss the mark? Did I miss something? I mean, you're allowed to go back into whoever picks you up, I guess, a family member. And I guess they could spread the love around, huh? Just wherever they want. They could use you to plant a tree, couldn't they? The state senator said she received angry emails from people who object to the idea, calling it undignified or disgusting. And the image they have is that you're going to toss Uncle Henry out in the backyard and cover him with food scraps. And they said this process is respectful, but what happens after the ashes are given, or the compost is given, to the loved one? They'll be able to visit, provide emotional connection, typically missing at crematoriums. I guess they get visit while it's rotting or something like that. I don't know. This is kind of new to me. I just think it doesn't sound right. I'm going to be exploring this a little bit more as time goes on. But don't tell me that the cities are scarce. I mean, they want to say they have to huddle us. That the compost would be a good option in cities where cemetery land is scarce. It might be there, but they could get, they could get this buried. They could get Uncle Sam buried in a cemetery on the outskirts of the city. Why is it so scarce in the city? It's not scarce in the suburbs. There's plenty of room out here in rural areas for another cemetery. Sounds like a stupid reason to me to have one. I don't know. Maybe we'll get some other people's input on this. And there you see the lovely Katrina Spade. That's right, the lovely Katrina Spade, who was a proponent of this, came up with the idea of human composting. So, I mean, who gets this? I guess a loved one gets to come pick up the compost and just do as thou wilt with it, right? Spread it all over? I don't know. Can you plant food with it? Like vegetables and stuff. You're going to use human people to mesh with the food supply all the more. I don't know. That's what this doesn't have a. It just doesn't sound right. One-man show, folks. One-man show. Always remember that. I don't know why that's doing that, but what do you think about it? Is this a good idea? Maybe someone out there could contribute to this and tell me more. I mean, are there rules of where you can put this, spread this, or can anybody just take it home and do whatever they want? They could grow it, a vegetable garden. I don't know. It just doesn't seem right. If you're gonna pick a spot and just naturally decompose, and pick one spot 6 feet under and naturally decompose. But if in a cemetery, a natural decomposition cemetery, I don't have any problem with that. I don't. That's a natural process. I think formaldehyde's not natural. Of course it's not. But to give the ashes to spread around, I don't think you should spread cremated ashes around. I think you should put it either in a vault of some sort, or maybe a special location, or somewhere in the house, or somewhere more sacred, somewhere, maybe even a cemetery. I don't know, but I wouldn't be spreading it around. I know people do that. That's just my way I see it. That's the way Ma sees it. That's the way a lot of us Catholics see it. And it's the last remains. I mean, I don't be spreading my dad all over. It's all I got for as far as the visual. Aside from pictures and videos, like a tangible memory. He's in a what do you call that? An urn. But to spread this around and try to grow plants and vegetables doesn't sound right to me. It just doesn't. I mean, what are you gonna do? Grow vegetables and grow corn with it and stuff like that, and then feed it to livestock, and livestock eats it. The livestock. Do you see where this might be going? I just think it's might be too early to tell. But if I know this beast system, it ain't for our best intentions. It ain't for to protect the planet. I'll tell you that. All right? Because if they want to start with protecting the planet, quit geoengineering, quit the damn solar radiation management, get that damn sun simulator down and give us the real sun, golden sun back. Quit chemtrailing. Quit with the vaccines. Quit with the big pharma side effects. Quit GMOing everything. Freaking plastic vegetables. Why don't you start with that? And then we'll work from there up, all right? Get out of town with this mess. Until next time. Well, just hold on. Maybe we'll have Ma's input on this. So just hold on. You know, I think I'm just going to leave it right there. I was trying to get someone's input on this. I think it would have been added extra flair to this, a certain viewpoint, I should say, to this, because I tried to research and look up anybody protesting this, and apparently it seems to be somewhat of a movement that this is a good thing. So, you know, the ashes to ashes, dust to dust, I guess. So spread grandma all around. You know, plant some corn with it. Why not? It's already GMO'd, you know. I mean, feed it to the cattle, and we'll be eating that. Oh my God, this is constant with this thing. Sorry about that. I said, so you know, they feed it to the animals, and then if they do, then we eat the animals, and then what happens? Well, I guess we don't need to worry about that. Lab meat's around the corner anyway, right? You're getting chemtrailed, 5G, LED Li-Fi, wide gig on the rollout. I mean, GMOs everywhere, CRISPR technology, gene editing, vaccines, big pharma, toxic everything. So hey, you know, why not add a little extra aborted baby cells to your, you know, diet and your soft drinks and your food, and you know, spread the love, spread grandma and grandpa around. You know, I don't know. I think this is just another sick thing by this fallen world to put this everywhere. It's disgusting, in my opinion. They want to say it's to save steel, to save on this is sick. That's all I gotta say. Until next time, you receive the shock treatment.